Oh, hello there. We have another exciting and new Linux distribution to look for. And as you have seen the title of this video, yes, I am talking about Pika OS, the newly released fourth version of the Linux distribution based on Debian now. This is really optimized and gaming focused distro that we are going to take a hopefully quick look. So let's get to it. Let's go through their webpage really quick. What Pika OS is. Pika OS is gaming optimization focused Linux distribution that emphasizes easy of use and high compatibility. Built on a Debian based. You have a little bit more information what it's so special about this distro, gaming out of the box, excellent performance, and so on. Key features, cute bird mascot. Well, here I'm not a huge fan, but this is not a deal breaker, and this is one of the easiest thing to change. For example, take a look at this wallpaper. It's ridiculous. It's cute somehow, but I'm not a big fan of it. Luckily, this is one of the things that it's easily changeable. Just right click and change it. Let's see, I think I'm gonna go with this one for now. So anyway, well, where you can download this distro right here, they have a different versions, especially in NVIDIA based ISOs. They have GNOME, KDE, and I think Hyperland, which is new because I have been using the beta version and there was no Hyperland ISO, but I might be wrong. So anyway, they do offer the Hyperland NVIDIA edition, and this is awesome already. So if you are a huge fan of the Hyperland or window managers, this is one that you should try maybe. Now they have a little bit of getting started guide for installation instructions, what they did in the recent update, and so on. A little bit more information about the project. As far as I know, this used to be Ubuntu based. Now they have changed the base to Debian Unstable or Debian SIT. Okay, so let's go a little bit through the installation because this is not a standard install, at least not for me. I bet you have not seen many of these installs out there, so let's check it out. Okay, so let's go through the installation of Pika OS. For some reason, I wasn't able to do the virtual machine as usual. This might have something to do with the secure boot, I'm not sure. So this is a live image. We are recording live. So I really wanted to show you the installation because it's not as standard as usual, like let's say Calamaris or Ubiquiti. So let's go through the process. Now here you can select your language. It is English for me. Yes, it's already selected, but you can search here for the language you want. This little arrow here shows that you go for next. Now you have a little Pika OS user agreement. You can read this. I have already done that. Click here to agree. Click next. Now search for the keyboard layout. This should be English as well, but you can search for your own language keyboard. Let's continue. Now search for the time zone here. I am selecting New York. Okay. Now you have the option for automatically partition the drive, or if you really know what you're doing, you can do it manually. I would of course automatically partition the drive. Now you have an option for enabling the disk encryption. If you really want to do that, go ahead and do it. Now here you select the disk where you want to install the Pika OS. For me, it's going to be the Agility SSD that I have for testing. Click done, go to the next, and now you have a little installation summary. Please, before you continue and confirm, check everything again, and when you are sure this is exactly what you selected and what you want to do, then confirm and wait for the installation to finish. And to be honest, this is maybe one, if not the fastest installation on a real hardware for me. Took like 2.5 minutes, which is maybe this is a new record. So I'll see you guys in a bit after the installation is finished. Okay, after the installation is finished, you have booted in your brand new awesome operating system, and you are greeted with this Pika OS welcome screen, which is amazing, I must say. Also, this reminds me quite a lot to the Nobara OS welcome screen, and you might not be wrong. This is pretty close to it. You will see in a second. This welcome screen, it's going to guide you and help you through the first steps and help you install everything you need. So let's get through the steps. Super steps, setup steps. First, of course, you need to do after fresh install, it's update my system. It's a one-click install. They have a really amazing tools, as you can see here. And here is the moment I can mention. I know I read about how so many people complaining, why do we need another Linux distro? Why do we need another gaming distro? There is no point in this, and I see their point. I know you can pretty much do any Linux distro to be a gaming distro. This is correct, but in the same thing, in the same thought, I strongly disagree. Why bother going through the process to look and install every single package when distros like this Pika OS or let's say Nobara, they have pre-installed with every single package that you might need, or it's only one-click install. This is why I really like this type of distros, and I will continue support them. Plus, you can see how much hard work the team behind the Pika OS have put on this distro. They have amazing tools, I will show you in a second. And this is a really stable distribution, although it's based on an unstable Debian. Who said Debian is only for servers? This proves you wrong. I am quite happy with this. Plus, I know they have rewritten almost every single package that they have been using for this distro, which is again a lot of work, a lot of effort. So I would say this distro definitely worth it. But anyway, let's go through the welcome screen again. Of course, the first thing you need to do is update your system. It's an easy process. Just click launch, and they have this really amazing tool that does all the updates. Doesn't matter if it's an Debian package or even Flatpak package. Here on the main updates page, you can see total updates, in my case 2 apt updates or even Flatpak updates too. So how you use this tool, it's a pretty easy to do. Of course, you just click the commit apt and Flatpak upgrades. Now here just confirm and accept. Wait a little bit for the tool to finish, and that's it. That's all you need to do. Click OK, confirm and accept one more time. Now you see the progress bar and your system should be already up to date. It's amazing. Another great thing of this welcome screen and this distro is one-click install of the patented media codecs and libraries. Now let's go through the Open Driver Manager. This is amazing tool. You have an option to choose another driver for your video card. In my case, I'm using, as you know, NVIDIA driver. The current one, it's NVIDIA driver 565, which is, well, I'm pretty sure this is, if not the latest, it's a pretty close to the latest. But you have the option to choose something else if you want to go back for the 550 version, and if you know this works better for your card for some reason, you can come here and just install this one instead. It's amazing too. It gives you a lot more options for the drivers. I really love it. Now the Open Kernel Manager, it's another tool that they have developed especially for this distro, and as you can see, we are using at the moment the latest stable version of the kernel, which is 6.11.7. This is already the latest, I think, even in Arch, which makes this distro pretty close, if not the same package versions of the Arch Linux distribution, which is mind-blowing. They have again put so much work to put this distro on par with Arch Linux. But anyway, you have the option here to browse kernels for select branch. Let's go and click that. Now you have the option, you can go back to the 6.10 version of the Linux, or I think, yes, they have the 6.12 release candidate 7 if you wanna go with that. Now you have an option for configure more and more of your kernel. If you really know what you're doing, you can select or disable or whatever you wanna do with all these options here. I'm not touching that. I'm pretty happy with the current and the default, so I'm not touching any of this. But if you are really familiar and you know what you're doing, you have the option to play with this right now. Anyway, let's continue. You have an option for install more software managers. Let's go to the recommended additions. This is what gets even more interesting than before. Now I was talking about the need for the gaming distro or not. This is one of the reasons. Again, one click install. Everything you need to start gaming is in this button here. Well, as you can see, I have already installed that. But if you are a new user, this is what you need. Just no hustle, no hard work, no research. These people here give you the one button install. I cannot stress this enough, but especially for new users, and nowadays there's so many people in YouTube going and saying how much Linux has improved about the gaming, and more people coming from Windows 10, especially after next year the Windows 10 is going out of updates, and more people it's going to look for something different. They will come to Linux because there is a lot more people like me saying how much Linux has improved about gaming? Well, basically, I think this is maybe one of the reason why Microsoft and some big gaming companies, you know what I'm talking about, I believe, stopping support for Linux gaming. Recently, this got a lot of attention, but anyway, let's continue here. Again, it's amazing. This is pretty close to the Pika OS one-click install, and all of the needed gaming packages are here. As you can see, Steam, Utris, Goverlay, Mountguhut, Winetricks. And let me remind you, every single package that these people behind the Pika OS are using, they have rebuilt it from the ground up, and this is a lot of work. I don't know how many of you are developers or familiar, but this is a huge deal. They have additional packages for gaming. This is already been installed on my system. I have done that. And again, if you are using controllers or VR equipment, you can install this as well. I don't need that. Now install Microsoft TrueType fonts. This is amazing. You can see for yourself. This is basically everything you need for content creation. If, for example, you are not a gamer, but you are using your distro for content creation, you can do that. You have the choice. Let's go through the look and feel. This is pretty standard. It gives you the options where and how to get the new icons and themes. Choose a desktop layout. So as you may have guessed, I chose for my desktop the GNOME version, and I'll show you with the launch button here. They have a 6 very interesting layouts. Well, this is mostly popular for GNOME and only for GNOME, but I think you can do pretty much the same in KDE. Okay, so if you want Windows 11 familiar, just go there, and as you can see, well, it's on the other screen. Let's switch screens now. Okay, so we are on the other screen, and as you can see, now we have a Windows 11 familiar screen. If you coming from Windows 11, you like the layout of the Windows 11, this might be for you. They have another options for Unity, let's say. We all know about Unity, but for those of you who are new users, this is how Unity used to look like. Now you can try the Ubuntu Unity version that it's still developed, maybe a little bit slower and not with all the Ubuntu resources, but it's still being developed. But anyway, you can go ahead and try all of this, see what you like. For me, the traditional one, it's what I'm using, what I like. Well, I do customize it a little bit more, as you can see in the beginning of this video. But anyway, you have an accent color here that you can choose for you. Let's go with blue. I don't know why, for some reason it wants me to put my root password, but anyway. You have a few more options. Configure GNOME, add extensions to your desktop. You have troubleshoot issues, join the community. This is a pretty standard. And if you want to contribute to Pika OS, you can do it here or here. What else I can say about this distro? It's amazing, it's pretty stable, even for a Debian unstable version. But anyway, the only issue I had in the beginning is I wasn't able to reach my external hard drive, but I finally find a way to fix it, and now it's working already fine. I've been using it for maybe 2 weeks, including the beta version before that. I have been living on this distro. As you know, I'm using my test SSD drive, the 60 gigabytes agility, for testing on real hardware. This Pika OS, it's installed right there, and I've been finding myself booting into the Pika OS more often than on my Fedora. And well, this might be a good reason to say that the distro is amazing. Even I have tried a little bit of gaming, I will show you in a second. For example, Guild Wars 2, my frames per second are maybe with 20 FPS more than, let's say, on Fedora. I didn't do so much testing. I have just enjoyed the game, but visually, and you will see the Mango HUD on. It's about 20 FPS more, which is amazing. I've been looking for something different to try, and I am a huge fan of Debian. So when I heard about this distro, I said, "This is it. This is what I'm going to try for the next couple of weeks," and I have never regret my decision. So anyway, I am going to end up the video here. I hope you have found it helpful. I hope you found it informational at least. I think more people should be familiar with this distro. Just go ahead and try it. It's amazing. You won't be disappointed. At least I know I wasn't. Even if you're not a gamer, this is still a pretty stable and pretty good optimized distribution. And like I said, it's based on Debian. Recently, most of the distributions that pops up are either Fedora or Arch based. And this one definitely brings back the power to the Debian, the king of all distros. That's a joke. So anyway, I will continue using it for maybe a little bit longer. Almost 200 frames. I have never ever seen 200 and more than 200 frames in the Guild Wars. This is amazing. Like I said, this beats everything I've been using before. It's amazing. Did I say it's amazing? Anyway, I'm gonna end up the video here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.